2, 1. This is going to be the most painful one I've done yet because subconsciously I feel like I have to justify why each of these players is better than Tarek Skubal. And then I put Freddie Freeman in a place I don't want to put Freddie Freeman. I'm wearing the jersey, man. He's my hero. Let's just get this shit started. Welcome to The Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva, and we are continuing our top 50 player rankings today. We're doing 20 through 11. If you haven't seen the series, I'm ranking everyone based on where I think you'll put them at the end of 2025 in a top 50 player ranking. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the Run the Play Network. It is championship weekend in the NFL, and the boys at the hot seat have been on fire with their predictions. Let them tell you who's going to the Super Bowl this year. Now we start, ironically enough, with a starting pitcher who I think is better than Tarek Skubal, and that is Gerrit Cole. Don't let the numbers fool you. It was his first season coming off an injury. In 17 games, he only threw 95 innings with an 8-5 record, a 3.41 ERA, good for a 1.21 ERA plus, a 1.13 WHIP, 99 strikeouts, good for a 9.5 strikeouts per nine, 2.7 walks per nine, a home run per nine, and 3.69 FIP. And yeah, you can see that the injury really affected him. The fastball velo was down. The breaking stuff wasn't really as sharp. And as the year went on, the numbers started to get a lot better. And the big thing with the fastball is it lost a lot of its active spin and thus 2 inches of horizontal movement. But the regular season, I'm not going to say it didn't matter as much because once he was fully healthy in the postseason, Gerrit Cole was unbelievable. And he looked a lot like himself. He was throwing hard. He was getting a lot of swings and misses. As someone who watched both his starts in the World Series, we could not hit him for the longest time. There's a reason why that 5th inning was a debacle because that's the only way realistically the Dodgers were going to score off Cole. And I think that's the Gerrit Cole we're going to be getting for 2025. He's just done it for so long. He's so consistent. He's one of the last true aces in Major League Baseball. And that's why you have to give him respect by putting him at number 20. Number 19, I know followers of this series have been waiting to hear this name for so long. Well, he's here now. It's Austin Riley of the Atlanta Braves. In 110 games last year, he hit .256 with 19 home runs, 56 RBIs, a 322 on base, 461 slugging, a 703 OPS, good for a 115 OPS plus. And look, I get it. The numbers were way down last year. But if you look at the Baseball Savant numbers, all the StatCast stuff, he's still hitting the ball hard. All the expected numbers are great. The hard hit numbers are great. The barrel rate is great. That suggests a great player who just didn't have lineup protection around him, quite frankly. He thrives because he had Acuna in front of him and Olsen behind him in that lineup. He basically had neither for the longest time. And you just kind of saw it. I think he's going to work a lot on the off-speed pitches that really gave him trouble last year. It's an easy fix because that's something he has been really good at hitting for his whole career. And again, the fastball numbers were way below what was expected of him, but still in line with the 2023 stats, which was a great season overall. He really just got unlucky on fastballs. He just got unlucky in general this year. I'm not going to say that Austin Riley is washed or he's not as good as we thought or he's overrated because of one bad season. If he has it again, then yeah, he's going to tumble down these rankings like a rock off a cliff. But for now, I'm still believing in the talent of Austin Riley. I think at 19 is a fair spot for him. At 18, I got Fernando Tatis Jr. In 102 games last year, he hit .276 with 21 home runs, 49 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, good for a 340 on base, 492 slugging, an 833 OPS, and a 133 OPS plus. But most telling me for me, and what's kind of keeping me from putting him top 15, even top 10, is the defense took in a massive step back last year. He put -2 outs above average in the outfield, and that's coming off winning the Platinum Glove the year before. And you know offensively about Tatis, he's barreling up the ball, he's smoking it, he's hitting it incredibly hard. He makes a lot of contact. he's Fernando Tatis Jr. at the plate. I don't feel like I have to justify his hitting to you. We all know how good he is. But for me, the defense was concerning. He really looked good playing right field at Petco in 2023. I don't know what realistically happened in 2024. I hope he can kind of get that back because the arm strength and the value, that didn't go away. It looked good as per usual, but the range was so bad. It's just bad overall. And then he's not as aggressive on the base as year before. I get he's made of glass and breaks very, very easily, but it doesn't matter. You should still be aggressive on the base paths, and I think that's something he's going to be this year, is a little more aggressive, take the extra bases a little bit more, steal a little bit more after seeing the success that Acuna and Ohtani had as elite power speed guys, with Acuna going 40-70 and Ohtani going 50-50. I think Tatis is going to steal a lot of bases this year. Overall, I don't think the defense was as good as it is in 2023 or as bad as it was in 2024. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think the base running is going to catch up to where it is for him normally. I think he's 18 is a fair spot for him. This next one pains me, though. It's got to be Mike Trout at number 17. Look, I love the man. I'm a Dodgers fan who goes to any Angel game at least once a year to go see Mike Trout and really appreciate him while we still have him. I just don't know how much longer we're going to still have him. In 29 games last year, he only hit .220 with 10 home runs, 14 RBIs, a .325 on base, 541 slug, good for an .867 OPS and a 140 OPS plus. Now, the big thing that gives me optimism about Trout is he's finally moving off of center field. He's going to be playing a corner outfield spot, which, thank God, center field has just been too much on his body. It's been really what's causing a lot of the injuries, and the corner outfield should help improve his longevity. I would say maybe a move to DH might be imminent at some point just because of the back issues that he has. But Soler is clogging up the DH spot for the time being. And, you know, he really changed his approach last year from what we know as Mike Trout, spray the ball everywhere, hit the ball hard, line drives. He said, nah, I'm going to pull some fly balls. And guess what? 10 home runs in 29 games is a fantastic pace. That's a 50 home run pace from Mike Trout. He can do it all, quite frankly. Yeah, he's still not fast anymore and aggressive on the base pass. The defense, I think, is going to be fine. Average to slightly below average in a corner spot. But he does so many things so well. Is if you look at him in his prime, every season he did something differently. And now the new approach of pulling fly balls leads to a lot of home runs. And that's just him doing something differently. And he's got the bat-to-ball skills to make it work. He's got the power to make it work. I just want him to be healthy, man. Everybody in the baseball world wants him to be healthy. And I think, hopefully, this is the year that he's healthy, but I'm hedging my bets. He has top 10 potential. He just doesn't have the health of a top 10 player. Now, this one hurts me even more. I put Freddie Freeman at 16. Look, I love the man. He did so much in the World Series for us, and I will cherish everything he did. But 2024 was not the best Freddie Freeman season. He only hit .282 with 22 home runs, 89 RBIs, a .378 on base, .476 slugging, good for an .854 OPS and a .143 OPS plus. And the big thing for him is he was just a lot less aggressive on meatballs. Tellingly so, is he only swung at 83.5%, which, like, it's 83.5%. That's a high number. But it was still the lowest mark of his career. The expected numbers were the lowest of his career. He did not have the usual command of the strike zone as he did. Like, yes, the walk rate went up, but the swing decisions were not as great from him. He chased a little bit more, was a little unsure on the edges. And that's kind of what's drawing it for me is, yes, the bat-to-ball skills are incredible. He has maybe the highest contact. The highest contact grade that matters because Luis Arias can't hit the ball past the infield for shit. Let's be real here. But he has the highest contact skills that matter in baseball. But he's starting to lose a little bit of that command of the strike zone. Do not be surprised if the strikeout rate goes up or the walk rate goes up. I hate to say this, but this might be the last truly great Freddie Freeman season here. Yes, he's still good at defensively at first base. Yes, he is still one of the smartest base runners in baseball. But the hit tool is going down slowly and slowly. I hope I'm wrong. but I'm hedging my bets in case I'm not. Now at 15, we got Paul Skeens, man. He is must-watch television. He single-handedly is bringing the starting pitcher back. And with numbers like these, you're going to see why. In 23 starts last year, he threw 133 innings with an 11-3 record, a 1.96 ERA, good for a 2.14 ERA plus. The man prevented runs twice as good as an average pitcher in MLB, so keep that in mind. He had a whip under 170 strikeouts, good for 11.5 K per 9, 2.2 walks per 9, less than a home run per 9, 2.44 FIP. The man is unbelievable. And we all know about the Splinker combo. The fastball they hit 230 against with a 351 slug. And I get the whole, well, he doesn't have the IVB of an elite fastball. It just goes fast. But guess what? 100 miles an hour is 100 miles an hour. Anyone struggles to hit 100. I don't care what your IVB is. Ball go fast. The Splinker plays so beautifully off it. Baseball Savant has it as a sinker. I think of it more as a splitter. Overall, doesn't matter. Hitters hit 184 against it with a 234 slug. My God, is that a beautiful pitch. And guess what? He's still got one more pitch that's a little underrated, and he might even throw it a little bit more to keep hitters guessing. Because the sweeper, he didn't throw it that often, but my God, hitters swung and missed 45.8% of the time. Unbelievable stuff from Skeens overall. I think the Pirates are going to take the governor off him, let him go 6, maybe even 7 innings more consistently. He is the Cy Young favorite in the National League for a reason. He started the All-Star game for a reason. He went number 1 overall for a reason. He's dating Livy Dunn for a reason. And that's because he has the best stuff in baseball. He has some of the best command in baseball. Overall, he's the second best pitcher in baseball. He is must-watch television. If you have a chance to see Paul Skeens this year, do it, because he's good. This year he's going to be great. He's going to be even better in the future. Get on the train now. But before we talk about our next hitter, who brings the boom, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Boom Fantasy.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it.
Oh shit, he hit it?
Yeah, bro. Look at this.
I won $200. I tailed your parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you gotta hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video. You could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video.
Now, at number 14, we got one of the best power hitters in baseball. That's Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros. Last year, he hit 308 with 35 home runs, 86 on RBIs, a 392 on base, 567 slugging, good for a 959 OPS and a 172 OPS plus. What can you say about Yordan, man? He is by far one of the best hitters in baseball. There's not a hole in that swing. There's not a weakness in the hitting game overall. And guess what? Surprisingly, year over year, he's getting better because the strikeout rate was high his rookie year. Now it's one of the best in baseball. It just keeps falling year over year over year while the numbers continue to stay this good. Yordan is the best pure hitter in baseball. There's no arguments about it. He's got power. He's got contact. He does not strike out. He's got a good eye. But we all know the downside about him. He is a shitty left fielder. He's a shitty right fielder. He cannot defend worth a damn. He is like your antivirus software you get for free. Does very little in defense. But because of that, he doesn't get that much value from DH. There's a reason why everyone was salivating over the WAR Ohtani put up as a DH, because it's hard to put up a lot of WAR and value as a designated hitter. 14's about where he can cap as a DH. So don't get it wrong. He's still a fantastic player, but if he's not going to play the field, he's not going to offer that much more value overall. Tony Watson's still better. I'm sorry. Now at 13, we have Corey Seager. Last year, he hit 278 with 30 home runs, 74 RBIs, a 353 on base, 512 slug, good for an 864 OPS and a 145 OPS plus. But one of the things that people said a lot about Corey Seager is he's going to move off shortstop, that big body's not going to age well. Well, he's over the 30-year-old hump, and he put up 5 outs above average at shortstop. I've been someone who watched Corey Seager on the Dodgers from 2016 to 2021. He's done a lot for me, but he wasn't necessarily the best defender. He never put up elite numbers with the Dodgers as a shortstop. But to see him go to Arlington and just put up great defensive numbers shocked even me, who was one of the biggest Corey Seager fans out there. Great stuff for him overall. And at the plate, he continues to be what I like to call selectively aggressive. As you know, he swings at the first pitch more than anybody. He swings over half the time, but he doesn't chase that much, is he will attack the zone like nobody else. And he has a smooth swing, a consistent swing, the type of swing that really rewards that kind of plate approach. I love what Corey Seager does at the plate overall. And, the only thing that kind of keeps him out of the top 10 is the base running, but we always knew of that about Seager. But overall, an aggressive shortstop at the plate with the contact numbers to back it up with great defense. That is a fantastic player in Major League Baseball. He's a 2-time World Series MVP for a reason. The Rangers gave him that contract for a reason. He's just one of the best in baseball. And at number 12, the best starting pitcher in baseball, in my opinion, is Zach Wheeler. He is what the modern starting pitcher should be. In 32 games last year, he went 200 innings with a 16-7 record, a 2.57 ERA, good for a 1.58 ERA plus, a WHIP under 1, 224 strikeouts, good for a 10.1 strikeouts per 9, 2.3 walks per 9, 0.9 home runs per 9, and 3.31 FIP. And he's that perfect blend of pitching deep into games for the modern day. Yes, he always goes 6-7 innings per start, yet he still has great strikeout stuff, really good at limiting hard contact, limiting runs. And he's been doing it every year since he's come to Philadelphia, quite frankly. He's been consistent in that city overall, really great. And he could still get a little better. The curveball was not the best, but the fastball sinker combo really carried him a little bit. If the curveball gets to 2023 or 2022, Zach Wheeler, oh man, he's going to finally capture that elusive Cy Young overall. But why he's the best starting pitcher for me is he's consistent, doesn't have injury concerns, will always give you 200 innings, always have a strikeout rate over 10, always have a sub 300 ERA. And that's kind of what you want from the modern starting pitcher. And until others can show they can do that more as consistently as Wheeler has, there's no reason why I don't see him being the best starting pitcher in baseball. As we talk about Skeens being must-watch TV, go watch some Zach Wheeler because he's not that far behind in my opinion. And at number 11, don't let the name fool you. Don't let the lack of aura fool you. Kyle Tucker is pretty damn good at baseball. In only 78 games last year, he hit 289 with 23 home runs, 49 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, a 408 on base, 585 slugging, good for a 993 OPS and a 181 OPS plus. He put up an out above average in right field. Wrigley should be a little bit easier than Houston's right field, but you're not talking about Kyle Tucker for the defense. You're talking about him being such a good hitter overall. Great bat to ball skills, underrated power. He put up, I want to say like 4.2 WAR in 78 games. That's basically on the pace of Gunnar Henderson, Witt, Ohtani. He had a fantastic season overall, and not a lot of people talk about him because, to be honest, like what is there to talk about? Is we talk about Corey Seager being selectively aggressive. He's even more, he's just selective and punishing because he doesn't swing that much in the zone. He's just looking for one pitch in particular, and then he's going to do damage on the pitch. And not to mention, he still has great command of the strike zone. He's got underrated power. He pulls slide balls a lot. He does everything well as a hitter while being a good base runner and being a good defender. The numbers may be a little bit down. You're not really playing in Houston anymore, but Chicago and Wrigley Field is still a good ballpark for him in terms of the hitting. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. He's going to earn himself a lot of money this year. Put some respect on Kyle Tucker's name and put some respect on this list. Let me know in the comments down below, who do you disagree with the most? Don't yell at me for Austin Riley. Don't yell at me for Paul Skeens. Yell about Fernando Tatis. Be a little unique down there in the comments. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to the Run the Play Network. And don't forget on the way out, play ball.